friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to WW Weekly Meal Prep. Today I am going to show you a breakfast recipe. We'll go through what I'm going to pack this week for snacks. Most of it is what I normally bring for snacks, but I do have a couple of different items. And then I am going to show you as well a recipe for dinner at the end. I always like to include a recipe in my videos, and because I am not meal prepping any lunch items, that will give you a little bit more content to this video. So let's get started on this week's WW Meal Prep. The first thing I'm going to meal prep are my breakfasts for the week. This week I am making a ham, egg, and cheese quiche that is with a hash brown crust. This sounds amazing. I did get this recipe from JENSWW Journey to Healthy, Jess on YouTube, so I am excited to give it a try. All of her recipes are amazing. So here's what is in our casserole. So you are going to need some sort of milk or milk alternative. I have 20 ounces of defrosted or fresh hash browns, eggs, light butter, salt and pepper, cheese. I am going to use the fat-free as she did, and that lowers the points, a scallion, and some sort of deli sliced ham. So let's get started on our breakfast for the week. So the first thing we need to do for our quiche is I have my 20 ounces of hash browns. Mine were frozen. I just defrosted them to room temperature. And then in here I have melted 4 tablespoons of butter, and that is going to go over my hash browns. And I'm going to give that a good stir. And then we're just going to add in a dash of salt and a dash of pepper. And this is going to form the crust of our quiche. So let's go ahead and put in just a little bit of pepper. So I have my Trader Joe's ground pepper. And we're kind of dividing the pepper between the crust and the actual breakfast recipe. And then we are also going to add in some salt. And then we'll stir this to combine. And that butter that we put in here, the light butter that we melted down, that's going to help the hash browns stick together when they do cook in the oven. And then I do have my pie pan here that I have greased with nonstick cooking spray. And I'm going to add my hash browns to that. Now we are forming a quiche, so we need to have some sort of a crust, like a pie. So we want to make sure when we are spreading our hash browns out that we are kind of building a layer around the edge so that it is somewhat like a pie crust, because we do want to be able to slice this quiche into sections, and in order to do that it does need to simulate a pie. So you can see here that I am kind of pushing those hash browns around the edge to form a little bit of a crust, and then I'm just going to give it a good tough push in the middle, and that should really help even raise around the edge a little bit more. And there we have it. So this is going to go bake in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. While our hash brown crust is in the oven, we are going to combine our 4 eggs, and I just broke those in a separate bowl to avoid the shell, and our 1/2 of a cup of milk, which I use the almond cashew creamy milk, which if you haven't tried that is the best. And we're going to take our whisk and we're just going to whisk these eggs and this milk together until combined. And now we're making the filling of our quiche. So we want to make sure that these get whisked together and combined really well. For our filling, we need 5 ounces of our deli ham. So I do have my food scale here, and I'm just going to, before I dice or chop it up, go ahead and measure out my 5 ounces. We want to make sure that we're measuring because we don't want to add any additional points to the recipe. So that is exactly 5 ounces of the ham. So I'm going to set that aside. And then I also need to do the same thing with my cheese. And I'm looking for 4 ounces of fat-free cheddar. So I'm going to put my cheddar in my bowl. I've zeroed out my scale until I reach 4 ounces. And even though this is 0 points, we still want to be aware of how much we're putting in to our recipes, because there are still calories, although it is 0 smart points. So there we have my 4 ounces of cheese, and I'm just going to set that aside. We need to dice up our scallions and our ham while our Potatoes are still in the oven, so I'm just going to take a second and I'm just going to kind of finely chop up my scallion here. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with my ham. I'm just going to give it a quick chop. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is going to get cooked into your recipe, so you don't have to be exact on your scallion. You just want it somewhat cut up into, you know, thinner slices. Scallion is not as flavorful as onion once cooked, so you don't have to be as particular about dicing it into smaller sections. So there is my diced up scallion. Next, I'm going to dice up my ham. So I have my 5 ounces here, and I'm just going to dice this into little cubes or little slices. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to this. It really doesn't matter. It's all going to get mixed in and cooked in your quiche. But because we have 5 ounces for the whole entire quiche, I want to make sure that I am getting ham in each and every piece. So I am going to cut it up and, you know, into some smaller pieces. And then that way I'm guaranteed that I'm going to get a big, nice bite of ham in every piece. So I'm just putting all of these in these little containers and setting these aside until my potatoes are done. But at least this way we're prepared to do our filling when it's done. So there's our ham. Once everything is diced, I have my egg and milk whisked together. I'm going to add the remainder of my ingredients. So here is my 4 ounces of fat-free shredded cheese. I'm going to add the rest of my pepper. And it just, you know, to taste essentially, and same with my salt. Just going to sprinkle a little more salt in there. And then I'm going to add my 5 ounces of ham that we chopped up nice and fine. And then the last thing I'm going to add is my scallion. And I'm going to give this another quick whisk just to incorporate. And once those potatoes come out of the oven, we will add this to the top of them. And this will be our actual quiche filling. Look at that. Delicious. So my crust is out of the oven. Look at how good that looks just by itself. So I am going to go ahead and add it to the top of it, our mix that we combined with all of our ingredients, and this is going to be the filling of our quiche. So I'm just going to spread that out evenly, leaving those sides so that it does form somewhat of a pie crust. And here's our quiche ready to go back into the oven for the remainder of the time. It's another 30 minutes or so. I am so excited to have this week for lunch, so I will be back when it comes out of the oven. The egg, ham, and cheese casserole is out of the oven. Quiche, I apologize, not casserole. This looks so good. My kitchen smells amazing. I am going to let this cool, and then I will cut it into 6 slices, which is the serving size, and I will show you what my completed breakfast is going to look like. I have cut the breakfast quiche into 8 servings. Each serving is 3 Smart Points the way that I prepared it. It is an Emily Bites recipe. I will link the original recipe, but I did make the modifications of the almond milk and the fat-free cheddar to lower the points. And this is what your serving size looks like. So it's a good size serving for only the 3 Smart Points. So this is going to be the main part of my breakfast. I'll put the rest together and I'll show you breakfast for the week. This is going to be my breakfasts throughout the week. Once I have assembled my quiche into smaller containers, I have 3 Smart Points worth of my quiche. And then I am going to have one of these Western Bagel Alternative Pumpkin Bagelettes. These are only 1 Smart Point per bagel. And I'm going to pair that with 1 Smart Point or 1 ounce of, this is the Great Value Fat-Free Cream Cheese. And in order to make sure that I am only using 1 ounce, I do have my little to-go cups here, and I am going to use my food scale and measure out 1 ounce of cream cheese. And I will insert a picture after this clip to show you what that looks like. And then I'm going to bag up some grapes that I have destemmed and washed. So this is going to be my breakfast for the week. So it is a total of 5 Smart Points. Not bad for such a filling, delicious breakfast. So this is breakfast for the week all put together. So I have my quiche, my bagelette with 1 ounce of cream cheese. And to be honest, I don't know that I will use all of that cream cheese. And if I do not, if I only use half of that, it would be 0 points. So that's a lot of cream cheese for that small little bagel. So that may decrease my breakfast from 5 Smart Points to 4. And then I did bake up some grapes. So this is breakfast. These are going to be my snacks for the week. As I've told you in previous videos, or if you're new to my channel, I do eat lunch every day at work. In fact, in the comments below, let me know if you would like to see a week-long worth of what I do eat with food provided to me in the comments below. And if you want to see that, I can definitely film that lunch video. So for this week, I am going to take, I didn't eat these last week, these white cheddar rice cakes. And then I'm going to top those with 1 wedge of the Laughing Cow cheese. So this is a good snack. It has a little bit of protein and a little bit of carb. And then I'm going to take my Greek yogurt. I do eat this usually either with my breakfast or mid-morning with the other portion of whatever I choose as a snack. And then I'm going to bake up these chips, these Ritz Crisp and Thins. These are the sweet chili and sour cream. As you can see, you get 17 chips for 3 points. I will knock those down to 2 points, and I will tell you on the screen here how many chips I got for 2 points. I don't like to have my crunchy snack over the 2-point mark. And then of course I'm going to bring my Smart Sweets. I usually will have 2 of these packages after lunch, and that kind of curbs that sweetness that I want after I eat my lunch. I'm going to bring some bananas, and these are easy just to throw in my desk drawer. So I always like to have an easy non-refrigerated fruit on hand. And then, of course, every single day, I have a Built Bar. And I've discovered that these Built Bars refrigerated are so good. Delicious cold. So I've been throwing these in the refrigerator at work so it's cold while I eat them. I will, of course, link the Built Bar in the description box below. I do have a couple of discount codes. You can receive 6 bars for $3 with my discount code of JENSWW sample. And you guys, there's free shipping. So you're paying $3 for 6 bars, which is 50 cents a bar, which is a steal. And then you can, if you love them, which I'm sure that you will, you can purchase a full box, variety, or a single flavor for $10 off with my code jennswwjourney. I am going to link all of that in the description box below, and those Built Bars are only 3 smart points, and they have 15 grams of protein. Amazing, and they taste like a candy bar. So these are going to be this week's snacks. This is going to be tonight's dinner, the night of meal prep. I am going to make chimichangas in my air fryer. Now, no fear, if you don't have an air fryer, you can cook these in your oven. So not a problem at all. The recipe actually has the oven cooking in directions. I'm just going to use my air fryer. So these, you guys, easy peasy. So you need some sort of a tortilla. So you can see here that I have the Mission for my husband and the Olay Extreme Wellness for myself. Fat-free or reduced fat shredded cheese, 1/2 a pound of the extra lean ground turkey. So this is left over from the night that I made the wontons. You also need a small onion. So I do have this 1/2 of an onion left that I'm going to go ahead and use up. And then tomato sauce, diced green chilies, minced garlic, and then the components of taco seasoning. So I'm just going to use the Dax Taco Night, which has all of the taco seasoning components in it already. And then I'm going to pair this on the side with a can or a serving of the non-fat refried beans. So just so you know, you guys, this meal is extremely low points. The only thing you have to account for is the tortilla. And if you use a light cheese, you would have to account for that at any side. So if you do guacamole or sour cream. So let's get started on our chimichangas. So the first thing we need to do when we are preparing our chimichangas is we are going to brown our 1/2 pound of turkey. So I did grease my pan with some nonstick cooking spray. And then to our turkey, we are going to add our diced onion. You can see that I did dice it very small. In fact, I didn't even use all of that onion that I showed you. I used about 3/4 of that. And then I'm going to add in my minced garlic or fresh ground garlic. And I'm going to put in a good sized amount, about a tablespoon of the garlic. You can never have too much garlic. And then the last thing that's going to get added to this is the Dax Taco Night. The seasoning is amazing. And as you know, all of Dax seasonings are salt-free. So we're going to put a decent amount of the taco seasoning in there. That is what is going to give it the taco flavor. And then we are just going to brown this until the hamburger or the turkey is brown and the onions have become translucent. So we'll get this all browned up. Once your turkey is browned, we are going to add in our diced chilies. It does say about 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going to kind of wing it. It won't be the whole can. So you can use the rest of it for whatever you would like. And then we are also going to add in 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I prefer the Hunt's. I think it really has the best flavor. And we're going to mix this all together and let this come to a boil. And then we are going to add in our shredded cheese. Once your taco mixture has come to a boil, the last step is to remove it from the heat and add your 1/3 cup of reduced fat or fat-free shredded cheese. We're going to get that incorporated, and then we are going to fill our taco shells. The next step is to take your chimichanga mixture and you're going to scoop it into the middle of your tortilla. And you want to make sure that you're able to fold the tortilla. So you don't want to go too crazy with the mixture. So I'm planning on making about 3 chimichangas. So I'm going to put about 1/3 of it into the middle. And then you are just going to fold this as you would fold a burrito. Fold in your 2 sides and then roll it over. And we'll get that put into the air fryer. So here are 3 chimichangas, the 2 with regular tortillas for my husband and mine with the Olay wrap. And before these go into the air fryer, I'm just going to give them a quick spray with nonstick cooking spray. And that just helps brown them up a little bit better. And I just use this Kroger canola oil. So we'll get these put into the air fryer and we'll let these cook for about 15 minutes. So my chimichangas are in the air fryer. We're gonna let these cook until they're golden brown. And in the meantime, I am going to heat up my refried beans. I just put my refried beans in a bowl. I'm gonna pop them in the microwave. I did go ahead and keep out the rest of my fat-free cheddar cheese because I probably will sprinkle that on top of the refried beans. So here is tonight's dinner. Look at these chimichangas. They came out amazing. They are crispy as they should be. I did top that with 2 tablespoons of reduced fat sour cream. And then here I have 1/2 cup of the fat-free refried beans with a little bit of the fat-free shredded cheese. So the points value on the screen is for the entire meal. It's crazy. So again, a great Mexican themed dinner, super easy to make and absolutely delicious. And this is going to be tonight's dessert. I have 2 of the cinnamon smart cakes just crumbled up. I have one on the bottom with a layer of the fat-free Ready Whip. And then I have the second one with another dollop of the fat-free Ready Whip and these mini marshmallows that are amazing. So this I am counting as a 3-point dessert. And that is counting for the 2 smart cakes, the whipped cream, and then the marshmallows. So delish. I hope you enjoyed this week's WW meal prep. If you haven't already, take a moment and subscribe to my channel. Give my video a thumbs up and comment below. Let me know if you like these weekly meal preps, if you want me to continue these, and if you've tried any of the recipes in my previous weekly meal preps. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you in my next video.